This is called The Mouth, a refresher course, a subject I've tackled before, but I'm so in need of this myself that if I'm not speaking to anyone else, I'm speaking to myself for my own benefit. Now, I have learned that we have to be particularly careful of how we speak when we're under pressure. I've found myself in this situation many times, and I've got to tell you, I have been unnecessarily volatile, a little abusive, unsympathetic, unmerciful, and very unkind when I feel like I'm under enormous pressure. You almost feel like you have nothing to lose and you just let it rip. And sometimes you can say things that you not only deeply regret, but you really can't compensate for very easily. You might be lucky enough to receive forgiveness over time, but right away you have left an impression with people that may be very, very hard to erase. So I'm going to use the example of Jesus when he was being led to his own personal slaughter on the cross, that he kept silent. He was under more pressure than anyone could imagine. In fact, he was sweating blood. He was so fearful of taking on such an ominous and stressful event. But yet he did it. And when people were shouting at him, calling him a murderer, a liar, a cheat, somebody who couldn't save himself but pretended and really had no truth in him, and all sorts of vicious, condemning remarks, he said nothing. He remained totally silent. Do you think any of us would have that capacity if someone was pointing their finger in your face with vicious accusations and saying nasty, unforgivable, cruel things about you? Would you really be able to stay silent? Think about it. It might be unbelievably difficult and something that you could not do. So you really have to realize that you can change your life by not only changing the things you say, but by learning to speak when you have to and when you don't, to just shut up. Okay? We should learn in life that we shouldn't judge, criticize, or condemn other people, especially when we have our own messes in our lives to clean up. So we have to learn also to mind our own business. And that's an important part of learning to stay silent. Because when you see people, you always have something to say, a look to give, an opinion to state, whether it's to someone that you're with or just to think about it in your own mind. So learn to mind your own business. Go about life without having to always utter a comment or a word in a particular situation. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 3 on the mouth, and I'm calling it a refresher course. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Bye for now.